Acquisitions of gaming companies. Now, this is something that has been talked about a lot recently, especially because of one of the biggest things really to ever happen in the world of gaming. That happened just a little over a year ago now in October of 2023. Microsoft, if you remember, they bought Activision Blizzard. That was a huge purchase for $69 billion. I feel like we really see a lot of this stuff, or at least we hear a lot about it. You know, Xbox or PlayStation buying these smaller gaming companies, and really just in the world of entertainment, even, TV shows, movies, we see it happen a lot there as well. Like, for example, Disney bought Marvel in 2009, and then 3 years later, they bought Lucasfilm. We see buyouts and acquisitions all the time. There's even rumors like nowadays that Ubisoft might even get bought out. But in the world of gaming, we really mainly see this with two of the three big video game companies. You see it a lot from Xbox and PlayStation buying other companies. You don't see it at all or much from Nintendo. When was the last time you heard about Nintendo buying another company? Now, that is not at all to say that it never happens. It does happen. The biggest one Nintendo has bought recently was Dynamo Pictures. They are eventually going to change the name to Nintendo Pictures. It's heavily rumored that they are going to work on like Nintendo-based films and movies in the future. There have been other small acquisitions here and there, but overall, compared to PlayStation and Xbox, Nintendo is just not known for these acquisitions. Now, there was just recently a big policy briefing that was just released by Nintendo. I talked about it yesterday. The main takeaway that stuck out right away to a lot of people was that it was confirmed that the next Nintendo console will have backward compatibility, and they will have Nintendo Switch Online or Nintendo Online, whatever it's called. Oh yeah, Nintendo Switch Online. I'm actually just now realizing that they might actually have to change the name of that service if the next console name is not the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know, but anyway. Something else from this policy briefing has been caught on from other people, and now people are talking about it, and that is Nintendo addressing buying out other companies, their acquisition of IPs, and basically what their stance is right now, what their overall attitude is toward it. So what they have said is that their stance on this is actually quite reflective on kind of how I was mentioning, how they really are, that overall they just aren't a fan, it would seem, of buying out other companies. They don't do this a lot. So they said that while they will never leave acquisitions of other companies off the table completely, they are focused a lot more on, and I will just quote them here, they want to, quote, organically expand the organization. Yeah, they want to focus more on their existing IPs rather than buying out a lot of other companies and kind of just, cluttering their list of projects and just their list of things that make up Nintendo. In other words, they're kind of just keeping their circle tight. They're not trying to do like what it seems Xbox has been doing recently, buying out anybody that they can. Nintendo has always kind of stood for this, and I think it's really been working for Nintendo. Like, they don't even make a ton of new IPs. A lot of their big IPs have been around for decades now, and yet they just continue to grow. They continue to do extremely well with their games. It was interesting too, because they kind of said that the reason for this is they actually talked about the new workers, like new staff members at Nintendo. So they want to, I guess, keep their IPs and their acquisitions to a minimum so that new employees can, quote, fully learn and understand our creative culture. Yeah, so keeping things just smaller, keeping things at a minimum, and not just throwing your money at every company that wants to be bought out. It turns out that this has really been working good for Nintendo, and they have every intention on keeping this going. Honestly, this makes sense too, because Nintendo has been known to be quite picky with who they even do business with. Like, I remember it was noted a few months ago that they were pretty much the only company that had extensively turned down collaboration deals with Fortnite. There's other examples of this as well, not just with Epic Games. Nintendo, they are very comfortable, in fact, probably the most comfortable, just sticking with themselves. And it's clear by what they have shared in this recent report that they have every intention on continuing this trend, and honestly, it's worked for them a bunch in the past. I'm sure it will continue to work for them in the future.